What if the moment you decided to get out of bed or stay a little longer, a different universe spun into existence? One where you stretched your arms, another where you remained under the soft embrace of your blanket, feeling the warmth linger a moment longer. Imagine the infinite tapestry of possibilities, each thread representing a decision, a choice, a chance, a path not taken. Somewhere, beyond the stars, there exists a universe where your smallest gestures created realities as vivid and alive as your own. Every decision, however small, ripples through existence, branching endlessly, giving birth to countless worlds. What if the coffee you drank this morning, or the tea you decided against, determined the fate of an entire timeline? In one reality, you chose coffee, in another, tea, and in each, the day unfolded differently, weaving the lives of countless versions of yourself. Perhaps, in one, you met someone who would change your life profoundly. In another, you passed them by, the moment lost forever, yet preserved in the vast expanse of possibility. Now, step back and imagine this branching pattern, not just in moments of routine, but in the very fabric of existence. Quantum physicists have theorized what they call the many worlds interpretation, a perspective suggesting that every possible outcome of every event does indeed happen, but in a universe separate from our own. Each choice, no matter how insignificant, exists somewhere in reality. Every smile you gave, every word unspoken, every path avoided, every risk not taken, they all exist somewhere in a parallel universe. Picture yourself walking down a street. To your left, a small cafe glows warmly. To your right, a park invites you to wander. You hesitate, your mind deciding. In one universe, you step into the cafe, ordering the familiar latte. In another, you walk toward the park, letting your footsteps carry you to an unseen bench beneath a quiet tree. In yet another, you pause and do neither, standing still as the world around you moves on. And in all these worlds, another you exists, living each decision, experiencing each possibility as real and tangible as this one. The concept stretches further than personal choice. What if, at the moment of a star's birth, countless other universes formed with slight variations, some where the sun never ignited, others where the moon did not exist, others where a comet struck Earth earlier, changing the course of life itself? Perhaps in one, life never arose. In another, sentient beings of unimaginable forms roam the cosmos, experiencing emotions and dreams in ways we cannot fathom. Every quantum fluctuation, every particle's spin, every photon's path opens the door to a universe unseen yet just as real. Now, consider the enormity of this idea. Every universe contains infinite possibilities, each giving rise to further branches, multiplying endlessly. The universe you inhabit now is only one among uncountable variations, stretching beyond comprehension, beyond the reach of observation, yet intimately connected to the choices you make, even the most trivial ones. A glance, a smile, a word muttered under your breath, all resonate through infinite space, forming worlds that mirror your actions, worlds that diverge in ways both subtle and staggering. What if the you, reading these words, exists simultaneously in countless forms, some triumphant, some broken, some ordinary, some extraordinary? In one universe, perhaps you are a traveler across galaxies, exploring stars and civilizations beyond imagination. In another, you live a life familiar, routine, never straying far from home. And in each, your consciousness, your essence, however defined, experiences reality fully, without knowledge of the others, yet inherently linked through the choices that spawned you. Imagine the concept of regret through this lens. Every if only echoes across parallel worlds. Every path not taken lies somewhere else, breathing, unfolding, experiencing consequences that never touched you directly. There is a universe where you pursued that opportunity you abandoned, where you spoke words you held back, where every action you hesitated to take was instead embraced fully. The sorrow, joy, love, and loss you imagine or avoid exists somewhere else, eternally real in a reality parallel to your own. The branches of choice extend beyond human life. Consider the cosmos itself. Stars exploding, planets forming, black holes swallowing light. Each quantum event splits into countless realities. In one universe, a supernova bathes a distant planet in life-giving energy. In another, the explosion occurs slightly differently, extinguishing the potential for life. Even the trajectory of a single asteroid can decide the fate of countless beings. And here you are, a tiny observer, your choices rippling outward just as inexorably as the cosmos itself. What if we imagine consciousness as not bound to one path, but aware, at least fleetingly, of its other selves? In quiet moments, in dreams, perhaps you brush against another version of yourself. Maybe a sudden intuition, a sense of déjà vu, is the whisper of a reality where another you made a different choice, guiding you subtly in your own. Perhaps creativity, inspiration, and imagination are the resonance of those countless selves reaching across the infinite divide. The mind struggles to contain such enormity. Infinity is not merely a number, it is the endless branching of reality itself. Each universe a thread, each choice a split. Your life, at this moment, is merely one trajectory among uncountable others, stretching backward and forward, intertwining and diverging. What if this means that somewhere, every possible story has already occurred? Every love, loss, triumph, failure, every small kindness or cruelty, realized somewhere in the multiverse. And yet, within this vastness, your awareness is anchored to this universe. You are the observer, the experiencer, limited by perception. But the existence of these infinite possibilities carries a profound implication. Nothing is truly lost. Choices not made, opportunities missed, words unsaid, they persist eternally in the sprawling tapestry of reality. To imagine it is to feel both humility and empowerment. Humility for the scale of creation, empowerment for the impact of your choices, however small. As you sit, breathe, and reflect, consider the quiet power of your next decision. The turning of a page, the choice to speak, to act, to pause, all carry weight beyond the confines of this world. Somewhere, a universe exists where each of these choices plays out differently, a universe that owes its existence entirely to you. And when you move through life, remember, in the infinite expanse of the multiverse, nothing is trivial, nothing is wasted. Every act, no matter how small, gives birth to a cosmos of possibilities. What if the greatest decisions of your life, the moments where everything seemed to turn, were only the beginning of infinite universes stretching away from you? Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path leads toward love, another toward solitude, another toward a life of ambition, and still another toward quiet simplicity. Each path exists, each version of you walks it, and each experiences a destiny that feels as real as this very moment. Think back to the milestones of your life. The moment you chose a school, a career, a partner, a city to call home. In your memory, these decisions defined your trajectory, shaping who you became. Yet in the multiverse, each of those choices created countless worlds. In one, you chose differently and found yourself living a life entirely unfamiliar to the you who sits here now. In another, Perhaps you walked away from everything you knew, building a new self from the ground up. Each of these possibilities exists, breathing, unfolding, as vivid as the present you inhabit. What if you could glimpse those versions of yourself? Imagine standing in a quiet room with infinite mirrors, each one reflecting not your current face, but the face of who you might have become. Some mirrors show a version of you smiling with pride, having achieved dreams you once let go. Others reveal a version weighed down by sorrow, by losses you never knew. Some are so strange, so alien, you can barely recognize yourself, yet they are all you, shaped by choices you did or did not make. The question arises, who is the real you? Is it the consciousness reading these words now? Or is it every version scattered across universes, each living a life no less valid, no less real? In the multiverse, identity becomes fluid, expanding beyond a single path. Perhaps the truth is that all of them are you, that you are not limited to one existence, but are the sum of all possibilities woven into an infinite fabric of being. What if, in another universe, you became the artist you once dreamed of being? Your hands stained with paint, your eyes alive with visions of color, your soul poured into every canvas. In yet another, you pursued science, unraveling mysteries of atoms and galaxies, dedicating your life to discovery. In still another, you walked a quieter road, working, living, never chasing greatness, but finding peace in the simple moments of existence. Each version of you carries wisdom, triumphs, failures, love, loss, all the richness of a human life lived fully in its own way. And what of love? What if, in another universe, you married the person you once thought was lost forever? What if, in yet another, you never met the love you cherish now? Picture yourself walking alongside countless partners, countless stories of connection and heartbreak, each one unfolding in its own universe. Some loves are fleeting, some are lifelong, some are never realized. And yet, somewhere, in a parallel world, every love exists. Every heartbreak healed or left unhealed, every bond forged or broken. Imagine, for a moment, the universe where you said yes when you said no here. A universe where a single word altered your entire destiny. A universe where you walked into a room you avoided, where you reached out to someone you hesitated to speak to, where you dared when you held back. These universes are not fantasies but possibilities made real in the infinite expanse of creation. Each yes and each no ripples outward, forming timelines as unique as snowflakes, as vast as the stars. But it does not stop with you alone. Everyone you know, everyone you meet, carries choices that create universes of their own. Each person you encounter branches endlessly. Imagine the infinite web of humanity. Every conversation, every silence, every embrace, every farewell spawning universes beyond counting. Somewhere, the friend you lost is still by your side. Somewhere, the stranger you passed became your closest companion. Somewhere, the words you longed to hear were spoken. Each reality holds truths as real as your own. Truths you will never touch yet, which exist beyond doubt. Now imagine the collective weight of all these possibilities. Universes upon universes, overlapping, diverging, endless. In one, civilizations rise to the stars, exploring galaxies, reaching heights beyond imagination. In another, humanity falters, never advancing past a fragile moment in history. In one, peace reigns. In another, conflict consumes. Each possibility breathes alive, shaped by choices both great and small. And within each, versions of you continue, unaware of the others, yet linked by the common thread of what might have been. What if consciousness itself is not limited to one universe? What if, in dreams, you slip between realities, touching the lives of other selves for fleeting moments. Perhaps that dream of a life you never lived was not merely fantasy, but a glimpse into another timeline. The streets you wandered, the faces you recognized but could not place. Echoes of universes where those memories are real. What if intuition, déjà vu, sudden feelings of familiarity are whispers of other worlds, reminders of choices made by versions of you in places you cannot consciously reach? As we reflect on this, consider the strange comfort hidden in the multiverse. Regret loses its sharpness when seen through infinite possibilities. Every decision you did not make exists somewhere. Every chance you let slip still plays out in another reality. Nothing is lost. It only belongs to another you. And while you cannot touch it here, it exists nonetheless, living, breathing, shaping a version of yourself you might one day dream of. What if, someday, science allowed us to reach across the divide? To step into another universe, to meet another self, to witness the life we could have lived? Would you embrace them, learn from them, envy them, pity them? Would you recognize yourself in their eyes, or would the differences be so vast that they felt like strangers? Perhaps the truth is that we are not meant to cross, that the beauty lies in knowing the possibility exists, even if forever out of reach. And yet, as you ponder, remember this: the you who exists here is no less real, no less significant than any other. Among infinite versions, this moment belongs uniquely to you. This breath, this heartbeat, this awareness, it is yours, unrepeatable in its own way. Though infinite universes stretch beyond comprehension, though countless selves walk countless paths, none of them can replace the experience of being you, here, now. The multiverse is not meant to diminish your life, but to enrich it. To remind you that your choices carry meaning, not just for this world, but for worlds beyond. To show you that possibility is infinite, that reality is vast, that you are both small and boundless at once. You are one among infinity, and yet irreplaceable in the infinite design. So, when you make your next decision, whether large or small, pause and smile. Know that somewhere, another version of you is making a different choice, living a different life, and in that knowledge lies both wonder and peace. What if the multiverse itself is only the beginning? What if beyond the infinite branches of your choices, there are universes where the rules of reality are not just slightly different, but utterly alien? Imagine worlds where time flows backward, where light has weight, where gravity pushes instead of pulls. Imagine a universe where life arose not from carbon, but from elements unknown to us, where beings of thought and energy dance in dimensions beyond our comprehension. In the endless possibility of existence, such worlds are not impossible, they are inevitable. Picture, for a moment, a universe where you are not human at all. In one, perhaps you are a creature of wings and song, soaring through skies under a green sun. In another, you are a mind suspended in liquid oceans of crystal, your thoughts shimmering like waves of light. Somewhere else, you are nothing but a pattern of energy, eternal and formless, perceiving the cosmos not through eyes or ears, but through vibrations of existence itself. Every form you can imagine, and countless more you cannot, exists in the boundless expanse of possibility. What if civilizations in those universes found ways to traverse the multiverse? Beings who have seen not only their own stars, but the countless variations of stars across realities. They might see our universe as just one thread among an infinite tapestry, a single story among endless narratives. Perhaps they reach across with faint touches, inspiring myths, visions, dreams. Maybe the strange stories told by humans, the gods, the spirits, the visions of other worlds, are echoes of contact from civilizations beyond our own universe, glimpses of possibilities brushing against ours. And yet, there is a question. If everything exists somewhere, what is the meaning of choice? If every yes and every no plays out in one universe or another, does it matter what you choose here? The answer is simple and profound. Yes, it matters. For though countless versions of you exist, none can replace the reality you inhabit now. This is your experience, your path, your story. The choices you make here are real, because they shape the universe you are conscious of. Every other version may live elsewhere, but only you can live this one. What if regret is simply the longing to touch another version of yourself? The version who said yes when you said no, who stayed when you left, who leapt when you hesitated. Regret becomes softer when you realize they exist, not as ghosts, but as living realities. Somewhere, the choice you mourn was made, and the life you dream of is real. And though you cannot step into it, you can honor it, knowing that in the vast expanse of the multiverse, no dream is ever lost, no possibility truly gone. Now, imagine the end of a universe. Stars cooling, galaxies drifting apart, time stretching into silence. In one reality, everything fades into darkness. But in another, perhaps physics shifts, and rebirth occurs. A universe collapses and blooms again, carrying echoes of what came before. Even endings are not final when infinity is the canvas. Every death is mirrored by life elsewhere, every silence answered by song, every ending balanced by countless beginnings. What if, in the farthest reaches of possibility, all versions of you converge? Not physically, but in some deeper sense. Perhaps consciousness at its core is a single flame burning across infinite lanterns. Each universe is one lantern, each life one glow. Separate, they seem distinct, but together they form a fire too vast to comprehend. Maybe in the end, all the versions of you are simply fragments of one greater whole, scattered across universes like stars in a night sky. Think of the night sky itself. Every star you see is both real and symbolic. Real, as suns burning millions of miles away. Symbolic, as reminders of how small and vast you are. Now, extend that thought to the multiverse. Each star is a universe. Each point of light is a reality, carrying lives, stories, choices. When you gaze upward, perhaps you are not only looking at suns, but at reflections of other worlds, other selves, shimmering faintly across the veil. What if we are living inside a story that countless other versions of ourselves are telling? Imagine the multiverse as a library without end. Each book a universe, each page a choice. You are both the reader and the character, both the author and the story. And as you live, you write, you turn pages, you explore volumes without knowing their number. Somewhere, in another aisle, another version of you reads the same book but underlines different passages, choosing meanings you never considered. The story is infinite, the reader eternal. The thought can be overwhelming. Infinite choices, infinite worlds, infinite selves. But let it also be freeing. You do not need to live every life, for somewhere, every life is lived. You do not need to cling to every possibility, for nothing is truly gone. And you do not need to fear missing your path, for every path exists. All you need is to live this one fully, this version authentically, this reality with awareness and presence. What if, as you fall asleep tonight, you drift into another self? Perhaps your dreams are not inventions, but voyages, journeys into the lives of your other selves, fleeting glimpses of choices you never made. The landscapes, the faces, the emotions. They feel strange, yet familiar, because they are not foreign at all. They are echoes of the you who lives elsewhere, reminders that your existence is larger than you can imagine. When you wake, you return here, to this universe, to this story, carrying only fragments of the journeys beyond. And as the story closes, remember this: you are part of something infinite, yet your life here is unique, irreplaceable. In a sea of possibilities, this consciousness, this awareness, belongs only to you. The multiverse is vast, but your presence in this moment is a miracle, unrepeatable, precious. So breathe deeply. Let your mind wander across infinite horizons. Imagine the countless universes born from your choices. And as you drift between wakefulness and sleep, let the thought soothe you. Somewhere, in countless worlds, you are living every possibility. But here, now, you are living this one, and that is enough.